Hello and welcome to Pushing Back, Ukraine Daily Brief. As the war enters its 770th day, these are the main developments from the past 24 hours. Russia has lost approximately 445,040 troops in Ukraine since the beginning of the war, the General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces reported. The number, which has not been independently verified, includes 670 casualties over the past day. According to the released Ukrainian figures, Russia lost 9 tanks, 18 armored combat vehicles, 29 artillery systems, 1 multiple launch rocket systems, 1 air defense system, 21 drones, 48 vehicles, and 7 pieces of special equipment. Finland sends the 23rd military aid package for Ukraine, worth €188 million. The total amount of support provided by Finland since the beginning of the full-scale aggression is close to €2 billion. Also, Ukraine and Finland have signed an agreement on security cooperation and long-term support. The update from the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. There were 54 combat engagements. The enemy launched a total of 5 missiles and 50 airstrikes, carried out 37 multiple launch rocket system attacks on positions of Ukrainian troops and various settlements. The Ukrainian Air Force launched airstrikes on 1 anti-aircraft missile system and 14 concentrations of troops of the occupiers. The Ukrainian missile forces hit 2 concentrations of troops, weapons and military equipment, 1 artillery system, 1 radar station, 1 electronic warfare station and 1 drone control post of the Russian invaders. In its latest intelligence update, the UK's Ministry of Defence reports there were fewer reported Russian attacks across the front line in Ukraine in March 2024 compared to February 2024. Attacks dropped from around 2,340 to 2,120. The focus of attacks shifted. Avdiivka, which fell to Russia in February, saw fewer attacks in March, while the southwest of Donetsk city saw a slight increase. Despite this increase, Russia wasn't able to make any significant territorial gains in that area. In its latest intelligence update, the Institute for the Study of War. Russian forces appear to have increased the number and size of mechanized ground assaults on select sectors of the front line within the past 2 weeks, marking a notable overall increase in Russian mechanized assaults across the theater. Russian forces may be intensifying the overall tempo of their offensive operations in Ukraine. Ukrainian sources continue to stress that the piecemeal and delayed arrival of new Western systems to Ukraine will allow Russian forces to adapt to and offset the likely operational benefits these systems would otherwise provide to Ukrainian forces. The Russian Ministry of Defense claimed that the March 22 Crocus City Hall attack has caused a significant increase in Russian contract service applicants amid reported Russian efforts to increase force generation this spring. Republic of Tatarstan head Rustam Minikhanov warned that Russian companies and local authorities must defend themselves against Ukrainian drone strikes and not rely on Russian air defenses following the April 2 Ukrainian strikes on Russian military production and oil refinery infrastructure in Tatarstan. Russian-backed former Ukrainian separatist politician Oleg Tsaryov complained on April 3 that no current Russian political party adequately represents the political interests of Russian ultranationalists, highlighting a possible source of discontent between the pro-Russian ultranationalist community and the Kremlin. Ukraine and Finland signed a 10-year bilateral security agreement on April 3. Russian authorities continue to expand social benefits for Russian military personnel. Russian forces recently made confirmed advances near Bakhmut and Donetsk city. In Zelensky's nightly video update, he covered several significant points. Firstly, a security agreement with Finland that includes weapons development and bolstered air defense was signed. This is the 8th one now with Finland. Finland also supports Ukraine's EU and NATO membership. Secondly, a phone call with Japan's Prime Minister to discuss the war, Ukraine's needs, and a potential future security agreement. Lastly, he emphasized the need to win the war and thanks those who support Ukraine's military efforts. Thanks for following today's updates. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. We'll return tomorrow with the latest news on the ongoing conflict.